Hello, Infiniteers. I am back from my break, and I am ready to resume working on my Nautilus adventure. And this will probably be a shorter video today. My goal for this episode is to make a few tweaks to the logic that I implemented last time, and then add some finishing touches to this level, and then hook up the toy box door over there to take us to the next level. And some of you have been asking how many more episodes there will be in this series. I am not quite sure, but we are getting close to the end. I think maybe I can wrap up this adventure in 5 or 6 more episodes. I have 2 more levels that I want to build in this adventure, but the next 2 levels should not take too long to create. Now, the first thing I want to point out is something that I forgot to mention in the last episode, and that is when I loaded this toy box back up, our level starter there kicked off our randomizer and played back one of these replayers. And you can see I have radar markers in the lower left there for the collectibles that they put back. But I don't remember which replayer would have put down the collectibles in that pattern. And that's a problem, because I don't want to save this toy box with one of those replayers played back. When I save this toy box later, these collectibles can't be here. All of the replayers need to be in a cleared state. And so we have a little bit of a problem. And so the thing that I forgot to mention last time is when you create the replayer and you place the collectibles, before you clear that replayer, kind of face off in a standard direction and look at the radar marker in the lower left corner and make a note of that pattern. And you want to do that for each of these as you're putting those things down, so that when you come back into the level, you can kind of identify which one has been played back here. Again, I don't know which it is. The thing you want to make sure you do not do is clear a replayer that is already in the cleared state, because that will corrupt the replayers. However, you can usually play back a replayer that has been played back, and it shouldn't cause a problem. So if I step on the first replayer here, and I press Y on my Wii U to play this one back, I notice in the lower left corner that added more collectibles, more yellow dots. So I can go ahead and clear this replayer and do that safely. So the replayer that was played back was not the first one. Alright, so now we'll step on the second one, and if I try to play this one back, alright, nothing happens. Okay, so this is the one that was played back. So replayer number 2 is the one that that the level starter picked. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this one. And again, only clear it once. Okay, so that's how you can kind of figure out which one it is. But I would go down and I would step on each replayer facing the same direction there, play it back, make a note of the pattern of the dots and the radar marker, and then clear it. Step on this one, play it back, and you'll notice the dots are in a little bit different pattern because the collectibles are in a slightly different place. You can even take a screen grab of that with your phone if you want, and that way you'll know when you step or when you come into this level later which replayer has been played back. Alright, so there's a little tip for you. Okay, so now I have cleared all of those replayers. And again, really, I only cleared the one that was played back, but they're all in the cleared state. So the first thing I want to do is fix that out of resources text message that we were using. The one that says out of resources, and it says a lot more text. So if we come in, I think it's from the action button up there. Let's just go ahead and select that. When pressed, under negative, not right now, that's fine. That's not the one I'm thinking of. try this logic gate. On input blocked. Negative, not right now, that's fine. Must be the other one. On defense, out of resources. That's the one I want to fix, because it doesn't just say out of resources. It gives this big long message that doesn't really fit. So I'm just going to have it say collect the coins to let the player know they need to go collect some things. Alright, so that fixes that crazy message we noted last time. That was a lot longer when I did the playthrough than what I was expecting. Next thing I want to do is we have this hatch here that I want to hook up to this pull bar. And I want to only open the hatch when the player wants to open the hatch. So we're going to take this block we had put down, I don't know how many episodes ago, and we're going to connect that to a path. And connect the path to that pull bar so that we can open and close the hatch. Because again, I like interactive things. I think it'll make the ship feel more real if we can interact with it. There we go. Let me delete that. It should have put me in point mode. Try creating it again. There we go. So we're going to put this, I think, just down like that. If I put it up like this, it's going to slide into the floor there. So we'll put it down this direction, I think. Just to kind of get it below the floor and out of the way. Alright, and then we'll select the path, go into the properties, and we're going to turn off auto start objects when connected. Alright, and then we'll connect up our block. New path connection. And then select the block. Let me go into the menu here to anchor the camera. Toy box path. And I want to come down to movement style, and we're going to put this to back and forth. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Alright, so when they pull the bar here, new logic connection, when pulled down, we're going to come over to our block and we're going to start it moving along the path. And when it gets to this point under here, new logic connection, when the point is reached by the object on the path, we'll come to our block and have it stop. And likewise on this point, new logic connection on the path itself. When point is reached by object on path, I can select the block, there we go. And we'll have that stop as well. Okay, so now when we pull the bar, it has moved out of the way. Pulling it again has closed the door. We want it in the closed state initially, so I'll leave it in that state. So now we have a hatch that we can open and close, and I like that. Okay, so there's that. Next thing I want to do is close this upper hatch that I noticed last time. So I'm going to come pick this up and put it back. We're we're going to close that hatch. And the, oops, not the logic menu, the styling menu. And the idea here is that we're closing this permanently, but it doesn't quite work the way it should. I was playing around with this a little bit after one of the builds where we put these in. Let me apply that. I would expect that to be solid. So if we come down to the chart room, come out of the editor, I was expecting that when I come up the stairs here, that would prevent me from going out. And it doesn't. I can actually go right through it. So it's more for visual look, and I'm assuming if I try to climb that ladder and come up through this porthole, it's probably going to put me up through there as well. So, yeah. Alrighty. And then the last thing I want to do is hook up the toy box door. And we had this hooked up before for things to come through this logic gate, okay? And so on output from this gate, new logic connection, on output, we want this to come over and change the level. But we never set up the properties for this, so we're going to do that right now. So under the properties, the destination. For the next level, we're going to need the Nautilus again. So I'm going to import a toy box. And we are going to import the Nautilus one more time. And I made a little tweak to that in the previous one. So I'm going to select the world. We're going to do that level out of that toy box save, import and link this toy box. Yes. So that will make a copy of the Nautilus, put it in this toy box save file, and link it to that door. And once again, we're going to want to set the locator tag to a 1. We're going to put a locator in the next toy box when we get there. Okay. And that's it. At this point, I can move all of these creativitoys here below the terrain to get them out of the way. So just grab them, move them down to kind of hide them so that we have a nice pristine floor here. Do the same thing with the door. Move that down out of the way. And that should be everything. Okay, so we'll do that, move those out of the way. This button we can either delete or move. We don't need that. All of these get moved. Everything up in the ship stays where it is. So the trigger area up here, the button in the wheelhouse, those things stay where they are. And then I'm going to save the toy box. Right now it's Nautilus 3 I had loaded, so I would probably save this as the next one, Nautilus 4, because I keep a rotating set of backups, as you know if you've been watching this series. And then once I've saved the toy box, I'll exit out. And next time I'm going to do something a little bit different to get to the new level that we created. Rather than coming through here and playing back one of these things again, I will probably put a temporary toy box door up on the beach in the first level that will take us directly to the next toy box. And I think that'll make things a little bit easier for the next section. And next time I will begin working on that third level in this adventure. This next level will be a bit of a platforming adventure as the player makes their way over a deep void to the cliffs where they're going to confront Davy Jones. Until then, I want to thank you for watching. Before you go, please hit the like button if you're enjoying this series, And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already so you don't miss the next episode. That's all for me today. See you next time.